Today we're going to talk about Jeep and why it gets a bad name for reliability and why it does not deserve that bad name. So when you look at Jeep compared to the Tacoma or Chevy Colorado or a Ranger, and you look at the numbers of how much it's been into a shop getting worked on, Jeep has a higher number. So if you look at the data of the numbers, yeah, your Jeep is going to have a higher problem with reliability. But when you look at the use case of a vehicle, then it balances it out. So if you compared apples to apples of a Tacoma to a Jeep, and both of them are driving to work every day and not going off-roading, they're pretty close to the same reliability. Tacoma wins a little bit because of the front-end drivetrain being a little more reliable, but overall they're very close to the same reliability. It's whenever you start taking these off-roading is when you start getting problems because you're putting bigger tires on it, which is weakening the drivetrain. Heck, even mall crawlers of Jeep, they're putting bigger tires on it, and the mall crawlers are technically weakening a Jeep drivetrain a little bit. So these numbers are what gives Jeep the bad name. Now, you're thinking, well, that's why you buy a Jeep. And it's true. That's why you buy a Jeep. If you think of the numbers and what the facts are, that's what you get it for. And the way they proved this is the boating industry. So the boating industry did a survey because they wanted to find out what was their biggest competition and who do they have to compete against. And they were thinking the results were going to be a four-wheeler or something like that were going to be the competition for their recreational style, or maybe an RV. And they found out that the boat's biggest competition was the Jeep, which tells you that people buy the Jeep to actually go and enjoy and go off-roading. And the percentages of Jeeps that go off-roading are a lot higher than the Tacoma, or the Ranger. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my Tacoma. I will always buy a new one because it is what I wanted, for driving off-roading. It's the balance I wanted. But I just want Jeep to have their fair shake on this, for Jeep is reliable. And people always say it's not. It's because they're being used off-roading more. And like I said, even mall crawlers, they put big giant tires on them. And when you put big tires, you're going to weaken the drivetrain. So that's why Jeep gets this big ding for reliability. And if you look at the drivetrain of Jeep, they got a great V6. That engine has been tested for decades. It's just very reliable. It's so reliable that they're going to use the same V6 engine in the 2025 Dodge Ram Charger. I'm sorry, Ram Charger. I keep saying Dodge because I'm an old guy. But they're going to put that engine into a Ram Charger, and it's a great engine. So when you look at Jeep for reliability, they're very, very reliable. It's just they're treated more, off-road use. And because of that, they get the bad name, compared to the competition. So I just wanted to put my 2 cents out there because, even though I'm a Tacoma guy, I just want Jeep to have its fair shake of, it is a reliable, very reliable vehicle. The only issue I have with, structure of an engineering point of view is the solid axle for driving on the main roads. Jeep solid axle, can cause some issues with driving on main roads, but the solid axle is better for off-road. So it's, Jeep is what Jeep is. That's my only problem with Jeep. So that's it for this episode. And again, if you like what we're doing, please subscribe because you all make it happen.